Sadly, the holiday's been marred by violence. 2 children were shot in Chicago yesterday. A 13-year-old caught in the crossfire, shot in the head and critically injured, and a 6-year-old boy shot in his home.
Violence this holiday weekend. CBS 2 is tracking more than 30 shootings, at least 5 people killed, and 26 others hurt.
Just another insane 3-day weekend for the Windy City, for the city of Chicago, and not a word of it on the mainstream media, right? Anybody else hearing of this? Before we dive into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you guys could please share so we can get the word out there. So 30 people shot, 5 killed, out of the 32 children that were shot, and then 26 injured. So who knows if they'll end up adding to that body count, and not a word of it. I wonder why that is, and this is constantly happening, almost on every single weekend. This is happening in Chicago. Mind you, Chicago, we always say, has some of the strictest gun laws in Illinois, the state, period, out of the entire country.
It is time for Chicago to come alive. Come alive, Chicago!
Why did we get an update on the Jacksonville situation, right? We had some scumbag, a disgusting waste of life that took 3 innocent lives, but that's plastered. I wonder what's in common with that. Or you had another situation where the young man went and rang a doorbell or knocked on the door and the elderly man shot him, right? And thankfully he's good, he survived and all that. What's common with that situation? But you're not hearing nothing about this, and this is constantly going on. They just passed an assault weapons ban. The Supreme Court of Illinois upheld the decision. So with all these laws, you would think that everything would be decreasing, that this wouldn't be happening every single weekend. So something's not adding up. And I bet you if you were to go and investigate every last one of these shootings, the majority of them are going to be with handguns. None of them are going to be with the assault weapons, the weapons of war, which they know they're not assault weapons, an AR-15. They know that. So I bet you majority of these shootings happened with handguns, Glock, Springfield, who knows, Smith & Wesson. That's going to be the majority of them. That's what, if I was a betting man, that's what I would put it on. And mind you, this happened in 2021. We'll go back 3 years. I believe they had 65 shot back then on that Labor Day weekend. Then you go up, I believe the number was like 50, somewhere around there in 2022. And then now you have this number, which is 30 and could be climbing in 2023. So I guess we have to give them some credit, at least the numbers going down as far as Labor Day. But the Memorial Day that passed this last year, just this current one, was like 55 people shot. So obviously what they're doing is not working. And at the end of the day, you don't hear anything. That's the irritating part. You don't hear anything about this whatsoever. You had the pregnant woman, right, that was shot. And you see, if you go and you browse, what's something very common when you look through the keywords of the title? Black pregnant woman, black, that's what you're seeing. But if anybody goes into detail, you would see that she was told over 5, they suspected that she had stolen some liquor from the store, right? Be it if she did or she didn't, right? That's what they're coming up to the car. They asked her 5 times, get out of the vehicle. 5 times. You need to get out the vehicle. We need to talk to you. We need to see what's going on. Then the officer gets in front of the car. She decides to drive forward, and it looks like it's almost running the cop's foot over. It's going to hit him, and then he ends up firing 1 round off, and then it goes underneath the Ramada and comes to a stop. So they're out there and they're protesting the Black Lives Matter. You see all this uproar, right? They're all protesting for that.
Well, protesters marched through the short north tonight in honor of Takaya Young.
So where's all the protesting and all that for the people that got shot in Chicago, or the 2 children? And they're in stable condition as, uploading this video. So that's always great news, as well as the pregnant woman in the car. She didn't deserve to be killed. Nobody's going to condone that. But why are you not listening to the officer's orders? If they're telling you that, just go. If you did nothing wrong, there's nothing to worry about. I've been pulled over with a fully loaded handgun in the car. I always carry with me, with one in the chamber. So how come how am I still talking to you guys right now? I've been pulled over and I have two last names. So I've been pulled over. I had to get out the car. They had to run through my last name because they didn't have it. There's a hyphen in it, which is stupid. I need to drop one of my last names. But there's a hyphen in it. So they were getting it all mixed up. They had it in reverse with no hyphen. So it showed that my registration wasn't current over here. And all this mess to found out that it was just a mistake with the whole DMV situation. But I had to get out the car with the loaded gun. Told him, hey, officer, there's one in here. I'm not reaching for nothing. I'm just letting you guys know, show them all my credentials and all that. And I go, they're going to handcuff me. And then after all this stuff is all done, okay, you know, there's a mistake. We saw it's all rectified. No harm, no foul. Sorry about the inconvenience. Go about your day.
That's nice.
That's what would have happened in this situation, especially if she didn't do anything wrong. And if she stole some liquor, then, you know, she would have went down and then, oh, well, it's in Chicago. Who knows if she would have went down? She would have been instantly released. You have to do something really big. Oh, never mind. Even if you do something really big, they're going to end up releasing you, right? What are you going to outrun them? They already got the license plate and all that. So now they're just going to show up to your house. Were you just going to live on the run? They're already there. Just go ahead and say, listen, I've done nothing. It's a lie. Go ahead and check what you need to check. There's no liquor in the car whatsoever. And then they would have had the egg on their face, correct? Right? And then that could have been a story. But back to this Chicago situation. None of this stuff is ever documented, talked about, and just plastered. They're over here talking about the Burning Man Festival and all. You're not hearing nothing else about Maui. All that stuff's kind of disappeared. But this isn't talked about. But the Jacksonville situation was plastered everywhere. Or the young man going to knock on the door with the elderly man. But what do they all have in common? That goes to show you right there. That's what they want to focus on. They don't want to talk about how all this stuff is going down and there's no remedy. So if you guys have all these gun laws and all these restrictions and the assault weapons ban and all this stuff, we're banning RPGs and all these Call of Duty weapons. We're getting rid of the Barrett 50 cal, all this stuff. The intervention. You guys remember the intervention? Man, I loved Modern Warfare 2. But back on topic. So with this, how come there's nothing being discussed about it? And this is showing you right here that these laws do not work. All they're doing is removing these guns from law-abiding citizens.
And that's the point.
So you guys let me know how you feel about this situation. I'm not even going to touch on the mayor, Brandon Johnson. We've already covered all that, where he's telling you the kids jumping on, tearing up cars and tearing up downtown. Hundreds of kids all in the street just assaulting people. They're young. They just, they do this stuff. Don't you remember being young?
They're young. Sometimes they make silly decisions. They do.
I guess that, so, if they're out there shooting and all that, they're young. What else do you want me to do? Let's ban some more weapons. Oh, the numbers aren't changing. Let's ban some more. There needs to be accountability. Period. That's how you fix this. If there's no accountability, this will keep happening. That's why the numbers don't change. They may vary by 5 or 10 here, but it's consistent. I want to see, there's a Labor Day with no shootings, no fatalities. Is that possible? At this current landscape, or the way that they're going, the current trend, will that be possible? And you would have to be a fool to say yes.
Not a joke.
So you guys let me know if I'm spot on with this or if I'm just completely wrong. And maybe I'll go turn on the TV. Maybe CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CNBC, all of these, TLC, all of them, the Food Network. I wonder if they're covering this. I would love to see if it's on TV if I go turn on, or if it's more the Burning Man Festival and all this other stuff. I wonder if any of this stuff is going to be on the news.
It's not going to happen.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you guys could please share so we can get the word out there. And I will catch you guys on the next one.